Buenos dias, madventurers!
We're MADison and iVEN, and today we are taking you on the sweetest tour of Mexico City. When most people think Mexican food, they think tamales, enchiladas, tacos, but no, they are missing out on one of the biggest, most delicious parts of Mexican cuisine, the desserts.
Now, MADison has a sweet tooth. I do not. But even I found that Mexican desserts are like a match made in heaven with the savories and spicy food that you have. I'm craving a little bit of cajeta or a little pastry after pretty much every meal here.
So today we're going to go to 3 of the top dessert spots in all of Mexico City. We're going to go to a bakery, a churreria, and a sweet shop. So get ready to bite into a delicious time.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Let's go. We are starting off at Pastelería Ideal, which is one of the most traditional bake shops, one of the most popular bakeries in the entire country. This place started in 1927 and it is insane in there.
It's like the Disneyland of bakeries. You can like smell all the sweetness coming right out the door here.
Oh yeah.
It's intoxicating.
Oh, let's follow this scent.
A lot of frosting.
Okay, we got the goodies. Pastelería Ideal, the best bakery in Mexico City and potentially the entire country, potentially the entire world. It is huge, it is crazy. There were so many things to choose from.
But we made some fantastic choices nonetheless.
Hopefully, we'll find out. We're going with the sweetest first. We got a Durazno, tres leches, peach tres leches.
3 milks. So 3 different types of milk that go into this. It's my favorite kind of cake. It's the cake I get every year for my birthday. We're used to getting it from Porto's, which is a fantastic Cuban bakery in Los Angeles. But now we are in Mexico and we're getting it from the origin. It has quite a bit to compete with.
It's a very high bar portion set, so let's give it a go.
We're eating it like cavemen and women because we just grabbed this and had to eat it right away, so we found the closest bench and are diving into it. No forks, nothing.
That's good stuff.
Oh yeah. It's simple. And I think like that's the beauty of it. You just have to have it fresh. You have to have it before all the milk drains to the bottom and the top part dries out. This is beautiful, evenly distributed milk, soft on every bite.
It's so rich, it's so sweet, but not overly sweet. Like it gives just the right amount of like milkiness that sort of cuts the sweetness a little bit. It's fantastic. There's definitely still sweetness in the peaches, but it definitely sort of like adds more of a freshness angle. Like I feel like we're being healthy. Yep. Healthy choices. We got fruit in our dessert.
I'm loving how much MADison's talking because I get to keep eating this. I've already worked through half of it.
Now we have the most classic Mexican pastry. This is a Concha. Since it is the classic, since this is the original, this is the pastry that you can compare every bakery.
And it's such a unique like top there. Like I still don't know how they make that shape, but it's so awesome. And they all like each, it's kind of like snowflakes. Like each one has it, but they're all unique.
Yeah, called Concha, like the shell. So that's what that's part of like the shape on the top. It's to resemble a shell. It's so good. We've had a lot of conchas in Mexico, but this one is just so fresh. Like you saw them putting them out while we were in the bakery.
The bread itself has a bit of sweetness to it, but it's very mild. Yeah, once you get to the surface, that's where the real sweetness lies. And once that fades, you're left with this super soft, super kind of buttery, airy bread underneath. Fantastic for dipping in a hot coffee or hot chocolate. Even better.
Yeah. It was just called the Corazon, the heart. So, look how romantic.
Aww. Look at like how tall it's lifted. And it's all this like flaky pastry dough. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
That looks perfectly flaky. Yum. Look at the layers.
But I didn't get to the cream, the flakiness, excellent. I think it's cajeta.
It tastes like cajeta, which we've mentioned before. It's a creamier version of caramel than what we have in the US. It's made with dairy. It's made with goat's milk. If you go to Mexico, I think one of the top things that you have to get sweet-wise is something with cajeta. Like it's just astoundingly delicious caramel. This was a delicious time here at Pastelería Ideal. Okay, let's head to the next spot. Something that we didn't mention too is that Pastelería Ideal is kind of like your Nike. Like it's like people see the boxes, people see the bags, they recognize it, they know you have good taste. It's iconic. Everybody has a Pastelería bag and everybody knows. Everybody recognizes. You're about to have a good time. We have made it to Churrería El Moro, one of the most delicious pieces of Mexican history. Now I feel like churros are one of the main sweets that people around the globe think of when they think of Mexican desserts. But what I had no idea about is that churros actually came from Spain. So Churros El Moro is actually where it all began. This man came from Spain, immigrated here to Mexico City, realized that there were no churro carts here, and opened up a little churro cart out at the main square in Mexico City, the Zocalo. So that place was such a wild success. Everybody was loving some churros. That was 1933, and within 2 years, they were able to buy this spot right here in 1935. They've been serving these delicious fried treats out of here ever since, and have expanded to 12 other locations. So I am very excited to take a bite of this delicious piece of history.
Feed me. Yes, yes. The chocolate was Mexico's gift to the world. Oh. Oh wow. So this is a hot chocolate Español. Oh, it's so sweet but lightly sweet. That chocolate is very thick, not like a powder hot chocolate that you would get. The richness of the chocolate really, really comes through. Watching them make it, I finally know why it has that like curl, because this is actually coming from a giant wheel of churros that they cut up. Holy, that is so fresh. It's so hot. It's a lot less sweet than I thought it would be. I really like that. It's like more savory than it is sweet. It's right up my alley. That is good. The hot chocolate is actually sweeter than the churros in some spots.
They actually have 12 different types of hot chocolate on the menu. But yeah, this one I think was a good choice. Very thick, very sweet. Just rich and delicious. Now, for the churro. This is so fantastic. Light, and it's like airy in the middle. Yeah, the sugar coating is great, but you can also really taste the salt. I read that they use salt in their recipe, and I think that is the ticket. That is what makes this stand out and so, so delicious. I definitely see how this place, these people coming to Mexico and starting this churro cart, is what brought churros to the entire globe, because this is fantastic. This is worth having. And like, how could you not share this with the entire world? Like, wow. So we are standing outside of Dulceria de Salaya, which is almost 150 years old. This looks amazing. The variety is insane. I am so excited to try it out. I honestly don't know how we're going to choose. But yeah, it's been around since the 1870s, which is just wild. Like, that's how you know this is so good, that it's stood the test of time. This is our oldest stop on our tour, so you know that it is going to be incredible. Almost 150 years old. I cannot wait to try it out.
You want to start with this one?
Sure. Look at how huge this is. This is a bueñuelo. It is massive.
It's super light though. It's huge, but light. I could just like...
This is just a fried dough covered in a little bit of cinnamon and some like cane sugar syrup.
Ooh, nice crisp when you break it. Kind of reminds me of jalebi.
That is exactly what this reminds me of.
It's a orange Indian fried dessert, but there, it's not like a big platter like this. It's like a strand that kind of coil on itself and fry into place. I like it.
Yeah, good. Like, definitely has like a nice sweetness going on. Good syrupy taste.
Like a sappy, like tree sappy kind of flavor.
Next we have a lime stuffed with coconut. This is Frida Kahlo's absolute favorite.
It does look very like beautiful, you know, like just visually.
But do you think we're supposed to eat just the lime rind?
Oh, wow.
Coconut and lime are just the perfect combination. Just complement so beautifully.
You do get the lime essence, like the actual lime part, the sourness in the coconut itself. It's kind of soaked in and stained it a bit.
I really like this though.
And this is excellently made, like the freshness and it's like, when I think of shredded coconut, you know, I think of that frozen stuff. It's kind of dry, kind of sprinkle it on top of things for a bit of texture. But this is like 100% shredded coconut, but it itself has this like moisture, this great flavor to it.
This has, you know, your refreshing, eat this on a hot summer day sort of feel to it. Yeah.
It's like pick up a little lime and coconut at the beach.
Yeah, I feel like we're back in Cancun eating that. We went a little crazy on these guys. We what?
Hey, we know what we like, you know?
This is an oblea con cajeta de leche. It's like these little wafers on the outside, and then inside is cajeta, which is our favorite. It is a caramel, but it's made with goat's milk, and it has this richness, this.
It's like a body. It's like a heavier, thick, rich. It's so good.
And this store was called Dulcería de Salaya, and Salaya is where cajeta was invented. It is the place for cajeta, so you know their cajeta is gonna be good. Cheers.
Cheers.
If you've been to a church that serves communion wafers, the outsides, it's like 2 communion wafers on either side. And then in the middle of those communion wafers, they're thinner wafers than the ones I usually get at church. But inside of that is just the most creamy, delicious caramel you could ever imagine. And you can barely taste the wafers too. It's really all about the caramel in the middle.
Really, the wafers are more to make it like convenient to hold, to break apart. It's really smart. It's really that thickness. Like, it's hard to convey that, right? Just like sticky, ooey gooey, but not in a runny sort of way. Like, this will hold its shape. It's really good.
Oh, delicious. This is piñon alleluia.
Piñon means pine nuts. Right? And even this has a little wafer in the back.
Oh yeah.
Which makes it great for holding.
It's like a very like gooey texture, which I love. Let's get some alleluia. Yeah, speaking of church with the wafers.
It's pre-blessed.
Yum.
Wow. That's a lot sweeter than I expected.
It has this nice kind of milky dairy flavor. Then you get the nuttiness from the pine nuts.
Yeah. It finishes really woodsy, like, you know, like you expect from a pine nut. But yeah, it starts really sweet and ends a bit savory, a bit nutty. It's nice.
Every single dessert we've eaten today has been freaking incredible. This has been the sweetest day.
I think my favorite was the hot chocolate from the churro place.
No way.
No.
What?
I think I and it's being in Mexico City has just made me realize how much I really like hot chocolate.
My favorite, honestly, it might be the piñon alleluia. It's just so nice. I guess I do like, this is probably the sweetest thing we've had today, and I love sweets. But yeah, the nuttiness that it has is such a complex flavor, and like you said, I've never had a dessert with pine nuts before, and it pairs so beautifully with the sweetness. It's so tasty.
That tres leches cake, it did take me back, made me feel like a birthday boy.
The
churros were very good.
So good and so fresh, and like just being able to watch the churros being made right there in front of you. Yeah, that place was incredible. At the bakery, getting to eat these classic Mexican desserts and having them be so fresh, so delicious, so well made.
And the selection, you know, you could go there like every day in a month and like get something completely different.
You think this was a pretty sweet day?
It's pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet. I am so glad that we took this delicious bite of Mexican history, having the sweets, being able to share with you this traditional side of Mexican cuisine that we do not always think of when we think of Mexican food. I'm so excited that we bit into this, and you're the one that doesn't have the sweet tooth that I have.
You know, Mexican sweets might be an exception.
So thank you so much for joining us for this very sweet time. I hope you had a delicious tour of Mexico City with us. Please like and subscribe. Join us next week. Live your own madventure, whatever that might be, whatever the maddest dreams on your heart might be. Follow those, pursue those. Thank you for indulging my sweet tooth.
That was a lot of sweets in a short period of time.
Best day ever. I love you. You're so sweet. You're the sweetest of them all.